GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is sponsored by our store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, please remember to do that, because when you do, you provide gasoline to the engine known as Gear Radio Network, and that helps this podcast continue. It is the best way to shop for yourself, and is the best way to support this podcast. Now, on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Gear Network presents the Football Talk Weekly Podcast with John Cimino and Brandon Gorell. And now, here's John.
Coming to you live from Studio B here in Gates, New York. This is the Football Talk Weekly Podcast. I believe I have a cold, so please bear with me if I start to sound like Luis Perez towards the end of the podcast.
Aww.
But how's it going, everybody? My name is John Cimino at the JC Money on the Twitter. Joined as always by my eyesore, Mr. Brandon Gorell. Brandon, say hello.
What's up?
And as always, we are sponsored by our store through Amazon, as you heard earlier, but as well through our fine friends at Draft. Hey, week-long fantasy football leagues, download it. Download the Draft app. And then use the promo code Gear Network and get your first game for free, my babies. Or online, draft.com/Gear Network. Use the Gear Network promo code and get yourself a free game and get your fantasy on, y'all. So, yeah, buddy. We are here. You are laughing.
Yeah, because I as bad as the Raiders played this year and the fact that Marshawn has been kind of up and down all season. He's still fucking Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, he's absolutely.
He was being interviewed after the game, and some guy held up a Mexico soccer jersey. He's a Mexican reporter. And Marshawn walked up and goes, "Oh yeah, I'll take that, man. I love that. I fuck with Mex."
Well,
never change Marshawn Lynch.
You see a couple of weeks ago when he was FaceTime interviewing on NFL Network.
Yeah.
With Deion Sanders and LaDainian Tomlinson, and he was just like, I'll tell you, everything was fine, but the motherfuckers had to start a run and everything. Deion starts laughing, and then LT tries to ask a question or whatever, and then he was like, yeah, and then I did this, and shit. He called himself the N word. N's got to do what N's got to do. And he starts laughing, and then Deion goes, "Hey, Marshawn, you know I love you, Marshawn, right? You know this national television, right? You know what I'm saying?" And he's like, "Oh, for real? I thought this was FaceTime. Shit." I'm like, is that the first?
Oh, that guy should never change.
He's seriously, I want him to never change, never retire.
The thing is that's sad, though, is he's not going to get an NFL job. Like, he won't be on NFL Network. He won't be on CBS calling games. Damn, he ran that motherfucker over. Oh, I'm bad. My bad. My bad, Jim Nantz.
He's like the only guy that's been able to just do that on TV, and get away with it.
But who cares? I mean, honestly,
nobody cares. I mean,
we get videos of people cutting people's heads off and setting people on fire for real in real life.
Yeah,
and this guy is gonna throw a curse word and is like, "Oh, we can't do that on television."
I don't know.
It was like us. We had our first season was all censored and shit.
First 2 seasons.
Yeah, first 2 seasons.
We did it. Well, because here's
fucking dumb.
Here's the thing.
No.
When I originally started Gear Network, I wanted to do radio friendly because the idea was to either hopefully get picked up on a radio station or get a job in a radio station.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And that obviously didn't work out.
Right, so it's time to throw in the towel.
And I didn't take any of my shows to Rochester Free Radio, although I probably could have.
Yeah, and
so then after that, I was just kind of
so you're like, you know what?
Whatever.
This cuts my production time in half.
It does.
I don't have to censor anything.
It did.
I don't have to go back and listen for curses.
When I was on the, I actually made a joke about that on the Pain Clinic a couple of weeks ago when I was on there on HTK, and they asked me if I wanted to share a wrestling story. Just like a funny war story.
Yeah.
Like, you've had you had to have the old lady in the crowd that, said something or whatever. And I said that I really couldn't, I really can't tell any of the stories, the good stories, on terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
Because they involve a lot of vulgarity and hilarity.
Did you plug your podcast?
Oh, of course I did.
Be like, you can hear, though, those stories on my next, whatever show you want to put it on. Get Ready America.
I named all of them.
Oh,
I named all the shows we had, including this one. On the air, so yeah. But and we joked about it how the Cashman, who is the host of the pain clinic there, he also does a podcast as well, and he even said on there, he's like, the regulations of radio are not in the podcast world, so you definitely want to listen to JC's stories on the podcast. So yeah.
I know. I remember we used to do it, and you'd be like, "Okay, I gotta remember. When did you say the curse word again? When did you drop that F-bomb?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember." I dropped like 3 of them. You're like, "Shit, I gotta go back and
I had to go
listen to this.
I had to
segment.
go back and review, and it was whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Nope,
what it was.
not anymore, man.
But nope. I just plug and play.
Toasty is for fun now.
Huh? Yeah.
Toasty's just a fun effect.
Yeah, it's a fun. Although I don't have it on here.
And we usually put it over somebody's name that we're not supposed to.
I do have this though. The trial burp.
Oh, I don't have my headphones on anymore.
Headphones
I took them off.
All right,
too hot.
Let's talk about really quickly.
Oh boy,
I don't know if I want to say really quickly.
What an atrocious football week for me.
We are going to lead off with the Mafia again.
Oh, they're not a Mafia anymore. They've disbanded.
Now last
this
week,
is a bunch of crime bosses.
We were talking about Sean McDermott putting Nathan Peterman as the starter. And
because why not, right?
We weren't really sure, and I had questioned why do that when you're still in the hunt for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, there was kind of like... Bills fans, the majority of the Bills fans that I know were kind of like, shit. Here we go. Here we go. But then there were some who were already calling for Tyrod to be benched anyway.
Right.
Which,
it's a 50-50 split. There's like a civil war going through the Mafia. Like, there's your Tyrod guys who just believe in Tyrod blindly because it's the most, like, adept quarterback they've had in a really long time, even though he's not really that good. I mean, he doesn't throw a lot of picks,
right?
But he doesn't take any chances, and he leaves a lot of plays on the field. Is that
him, or is that his 3 OCs he's had?
No. That is him. He's had this OC all season. He had Greg Roman for a season and a half. So I don't want to. No, he doesn't look downfield. He'll look his one way. If that person's covered at the moment, then he checks down. He does not. He does. If you watch him on the field, his eyes don't move a lot. They're usually between 2 choices. And if those 2 choices aren't open, he's either going to throw it away or he's going to take off. And I think that's what was frustrating for McDermott, because they had a lot of drives that would get down the field and either end up in a field goal or end up in a turnover on downs, because they would go for it, couldn't get it in, and they just don't do well in the red zone because he doesn't take chances. And he doesn't take chances, which results also in ball security. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. But, Peterman came out. He looked good on his first 3 plays. He made a nice pass to Benjamin, and then Benjamin got hurt. He made a nice pass to Clay.
You talk about rough there.
Yeah.
And he had to be carted off.
But he's going to be okay. They said he's maybe missed this week, but he could be back the following week. It looked like it was more of a hyperextension than anything.
Okay.
So, he hit Clay on a nice play, and then he had a nice bootleg, and he throws it right to the fullback, and the fullback hits it with the hands of stones, goes right off of his hands, off of his helmet, and into the air so it can be intercepted. And that's where it all fell apart.
Yep.
Because the next one, he goes and he's getting drilled as he throws, and he throws, dead duck for another interception. The third one he threw was just all on him.
Yeah.
The fourth one, though, he got drilled again, and that thing went sideways in the air. It spun like a helicopter, and it got picked off. It was the center fielder picked it up.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much, I mean, I don't want to bury the guy and say he's got no skills and no abilities, because
it's tough to say that because, again, he clearly wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready, but they didn't really do a good job of protecting him either. I mean, it seemed like he was getting hit on every play just about.
That O-line was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Bosa was mic'd up. I don't know if you saw that clip.
No.
Joey Bosa was mic'd up, and he was laughing. He's like, they didn't even block me on that play. He ended up having a sack on Peterman, and he's like, they didn't even fucking block me on that play.
Funny.
Nobody even touched me.
Wow.
He's like, I ran right through. And then that was the day. They got a little run game from McCoy. Mm-hmm. But they just, I don't know. It's funny, though, to watch the Bills Mafia.
that's kind of
because the early half of the season, if you remember,
5-2.
5-2, even before 5-2. They were like, McDermott, trust the process, great coach, I love this guy, nobody's giving us any respect.
There's the voice.
No power rankings. Sean McDermott, that's our guy. And now they are calling him McDerm shit.
Yeah.
Idiot. Fire this loser. If I were GM, I'd throw this bum out in the street in his bald head.
Right.
And talking all sorts of shit. But 3 weeks ago, he was the king of the world, and he was like, you'd think he was Bill Belichick.
Here's the funny thing.
You're supposed to lose this season.
Right.
You are supposed to lose.
I think the biggest problem with the Bills is that they overachieved in the first portion of the season. They overachieved.
Right. If they had started out 2-5, this would not even be an issue.
Right. It would be
no one would be upset. No one would be in the national media saying, why are they switching quarterbacks? None of it. If you guys need a refresher and a reminder of what you're doing, you're building for the future. Kelvin Benjamin, that was a trade where they took a shot that it's a coin flip. If you guys make the playoffs, great. You have Kelvin Benjamin.
Right.
If you don't make the playoffs, you still have Kelvin Benjamin. He fits into your long-term plans.
Right.
He's young. He's a big receiver. He's a possession receiver. He's a guy that when you get into the red zone, you can throw it up in the corner and have him go get it.
Yeah.
That was a smart trade.
Right.
But if you need to know that your team is rebuilding, you took a defense that was doing great against the run, that was doing pretty good in getting pressure on the quarterback, and you were playing pretty good defense, and you took out Marcel Darius and just traded him away for draft picks.
Yeah.
That was the sheer sign of, hey, this is still a rebuild. I'm fine with the fact that we're 5-2. But I think they also look at their schedule and go, we have the Patriots twice more.
They usually split with the Dolphins. Even though the Dolphins are a crappy team. Still split.
They're looking at that schedule and they're like, let's get what we can get for Darius. It is the Darius effect. They don't want to admit it. Their fans, they're like, Darius can't be that good. You don't understand sometimes if you don't watch the game and like really pay attention to the game, you just look at stats like, oh, he's got this many tackles, he's got this many sacks. Well, he doesn't have those numbers. You're right. Doesn't have those. But what he does have is the ability to take on 2 defenders, sometimes 3 at a time.
It's the presence.
It's the space he takes up. If he's taking up 2 guys in the middle, guess what? That running back is not going up the middle. Right. Now he's going to have to move to another side. And if there's only 2 blockers there and someone can shoot the gap of where those 2 blockers are, that's where you get your tackles for losses. Exactly. That's where you get your quarterback hits. Nobody's doing that anymore.
Right.
They're all one-on-one every time.
Right.
I saw blitzes coming, and they were easily picked up because there was no gaps being created, because there's a free lineman.
Right.
Just about every time. There's no one doubling anybody on that line. That line's just garbage.
They overachieved,
right?
And now the reality is setting in. So I ask this because we both had the Bills in the playoffs this year,
right? No, they're out. I'm off.
You're selling.
I'm off.
You're selling.
No, I'm completely off. That defense is atrocious. I don't care how many picks Peterman throws.
I mean,
you can't give up 54 points.
They gave up 54 points to the Chargers.
They gave up 47 the week before. With Tyrod Taylor not throwing interceptions.
They gave up 30-something to the Jets.
They gave up 34 to the Jets.
I mean,
27 to the Bucks a couple weeks before that.
So it's progressively getting worse.
Right.
Well, 54 points. That's 54 points in professional football.
Right.
You know,
54.
The last time I can recall seeing something like that happen was Favre as a Jet versus Warner as a Cardinal. But it was like a shootout, and it was like 50 something, 40 something.
Like one team was in there and actually like doing something. But I think, honestly, McDermott looked at the schedule. He saw where they were at. He sees the product on the field. He's not dumb. He can see that his defense has got some serious holes to it.
Right.
And then he also probably looks at the schedule and goes, well, we have the Chargers this week. Maybe a winnable game. Chargers have been in a lot of games. They've got a good defense. They've got a great quarterback.
They've got a little bit of a run going.
They've got a little run going. And
hopefully they don't mess it up to the Browns.
No, they won't. They're going to smack the Browns around.
I hope
they're going to get a redemption. They're tired of the jokes.
They better.
From you.
From me.
So they saw that on the schedule. Then they see they got to go to Arrowhead after that. And then they come home to get a break to face the Patriots. And then they go against the Colts. Yeah, winnable game. Dolphins, winnable game. But then at the Patriots. And then close out at the Dolphins. The margin for error, not really great. No. I mean, right now they're on the outside looking in because Baltimore has a tiebreak.
Right.
But you've got Tennessee and Kansas City. Tennessee's starting to play better football. They didn't look great against Pittsburgh the other night, but they were 6-3 coming into that game.
Right.
Kansas City 6-4, and they're playing Buffalo this week. They beat Buffalo. Buffalo's going to be 5-6, and they're going to be basically probably two games out of a wild card position at that point.
Yep.
Now you're 11 games in, 2 remaining against the Patriots. Yeah, you pretty much have to win out at that point. If you're going to get 6 losses, you have to win out.
Right.
If you're going to make the playoffs, you're going to have to be 11-5, 10-6.
Right.
Probably to make a playoff spot.
Most likely,
which means they have room for one more loss.
Right. When you've got Pittsburgh,
which will probably happen this week.
When you've got Pittsburgh at 2 losses and the Patriots at 2 losses.
Well, not to mention also the Jets are right behind them.
Right.
And they've got to win against them. Miami's right behind them. Cincinnati's right behind them. Houston's right behind them.
And the Jets would have
Chargers are right behind them.
The tiebreaker based on the amount of points that they put up the second game.
Right. And so you got the Chargers on a run. Mm-hmm. So Buffalo, you had a chance this year. It was exciting, but at the same time, you overachieved.
Yeah.
Like you outkicked your coverage.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Absolutely.
Always next year.
Absolutely. But it could be worse.
You could be a Green Bay fan.
No. You could be a Cleveland Browns fan.
Nah.
Brandon, the countdown is on.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm reinstating the countdown.
I don't give a shit.
0-10. It's going to happen.
It's the Cleveland Browns. They will find a way to get a win.
They will not.
They will. They will get a win.
Knock on wood right now.
They will get a win.
They will not.
They will get a win.
Come on, Cleveland, do this for me.
Cleveland's not going to do it.
The city of Detroit is
You've already had one.
No.
You had one in your lifetime. You don't need two.
I need two.
You're getting greedy.
Listen, I'm a selfish motherfucker.
You're getting greedy.
I'm a selfish motherfucker, and I admit that. After these past 2 weeks that I've had, Brandon, I'm a selfish motherfucker, and I'm taking what I can get.
After watching Brent Hundley play the other day, it's very likely that the Packers could lose that game in Cleveland.
Ooh. Well.
They also play the Bears, too.
Okay. Well, I guess with that.
And the Bengals. And the Chargers. And the Chargers already broke you once.
All right.
So, don't get happy.
All right. Well, we're gonna
start counting down when it's 14-0. Or 0-14, I mean.
Okay.
Because then they'll have the Bears and then the Steelers left.
All right. Let's go to quick things. The Broncos will have a new offensive coordinator when they face the Raiders in Oakland, who will also have a new defensive coordinator, too. Oakland. They'll reportedly have a new quarterback as well. According to multiple reports, the team plans to have Paxton Lynch replace the Brock Osweiler and make his first start of the 2017 season.
Third QB of the season.
Osweiler started the last 2 games. Pardon me, folks.
He's verklempt.
Yes. Osweiler started the last 2 games taking over for Trevor Siemian, but the team's offense hasn't taken a step forward. As a result of the change, Lynch has been practicing for several weeks after having a right shoulder injury, and he served as the backup for the first time last week. He was the first-round pick last year and started twice during his rookie season and went 49 of 83 for 497 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. What'd you think? Okay. The NFL's compensation committee, Brandon, has told Cowboys owner Jerry Jones once again to abandon his effort to delay or derail the contract extension for Roger Goodell, and Jones clearly isn't planning to do that.
Yeah, of course. He thinks he's bigger than God.
In his latest appearance on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, Jones made it clear that he's not backing down and he remains confident that his efforts will be successful, saying, quote, "I think that ultimately we will influence what I want to influence." And yeah, so he basically what it ends up translating to, because it's a lot of text here and I don't feel like reading it. In other words, Jones doesn't want Goodell to feel beholden to only a few owners. Goodell should be, in Jones's opinion, beholden to all of them.
Yeah.
So that's a heavyweight title fight if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. It's like Raisin Brands. 2 scoops of douche.
After quarterback Case Keenum, Brandon directed the Vikings to another win, their 6th in a row, against the Los Angeles Rams last Sunday. Coach Mike Zimmer said it will be, quote, hard to yank Keenum out of the lineup after a couple of weeks filled with discussion about whether or not Teddy Bridgewater would get his shot again with the starting offense. Go
unless there's an injury.
Now, Coach Zimmer says this, and I quote, "The thing I like about Case is that he's got big balls." All right.
Well, it's the Vikings. We know what's going on over there.
Right. Purple.
A lot of ball inspection.
Injury news, Washington places running back Chris Thompson, wide receiver Terrell Pryor, and offensive liner Spencer Long on IR. Nothing huge there.
Can you talk about the Hall of Fame semifinalists?
Go ahead. You have
I got them here for you.
Go ahead.
The complete list of semifinalists are Steve Atwater, safety, who we famous for Denver Broncos all those years. Played a year with the Jets, but end of his career. Rondé Barber.
Okay.
Tony Baselli. Great offensive tackle. Isaac Bruce. Yeah. Leroy Butler. Buddy.
All right.
Green Bay Packers. Don Coryell.
Okay.
Who was a coach.
Yep.
Roger Craig.
The
guy was a baller.
Yes,
I used to love the high step run. Brian Dawkins, safety. Also a great player.
Yes.
Alan Faneca.
Yep.
Torrey Holt. Steve Hutchinson.
It's a good class.
Joe Jacoby.
Okay.
Edgerrin James. Jimmy Johnson. Ty Law.
He should be in there, Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. Ty Law,
okay.
Ray Lewis. Murderer. John Lynch.
Murder was the case that they gave him.
Yep, John Lynch. Kevin Mawai. Carl Mecklenburg.
Okay.
Has to be in. If it isn't, it's a rigged job. Randy Moss.
Oh, of course.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
You're going to put that guy in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. You're assholes.
He needs to be.
Leslie O'Neal. T.O.
Okay.
Simeon Rice. Richard Seymour. Brian Urlacher.
Okay.
Everson Walls.
Wow.
And Hines Ward.
Jeez.
Round out the class. That is a class.
That is a class.
You know what the thing is that that was the heyday of the NFL, those 2000s.
Yep.
That is when you had some serious names playing from 2000 to 2010.
Yes.
Those are some names.
I agree. Absolutely.
So that's a big list.
That's awesome.
There's going to be some good players that don't get in, but Randy Moss definitely has to get in.
He has to.
I'd like to see T.O. get in.
I was going to say, is this year T.O. gets in?
I hope so. I'm afraid, though, with Isaac Bruce or Torrey Holt, going in with Randy Moss, they may think that's too many wide receivers and use that as an excuse. I don't think Hines Ward is a Hall of Famer. I think he was a good wide receiver.
Very good.
He might be a Hall of Famer on a worse class. First ballot, no. Second, third,
that makes
probably
sense.
Third. Edgerrin James, nah. He's a good running back, but
all right.
Nah.
All right.
He was in. He benefited from Peyton Manning.
He did. He did very much.
Yeah, it's a tough class. I mean, Brian Urlacher.
Yeah,
definitely want that guy.
He's a lot.
Tony Baselli could be too. He was a hell of a.
Ray Lewis will be in.
Yeah, Ray Lewis will be in.
All right. Very good.
It's a big list. Ty Law, even.
Yes.
John
absolutely.
Lynch. That's just a rough class.
That's a good class. It's a damn good class.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, the power rankings are out. Bills
Fuck
Mafia,
power
get ready.
rankings.
The Eagles and the Patriots are 1 and 2.
Eagles are the class of the league right now.
Yes, they are.
Because their defense.
They are the only one-loss team in the NFL.
Yeah.
The next 2 through 5 are all 2-loss teams. Patriots at 2, Pittsburgh at 3, Minnesota at 4, New Orleans at 5. The next 3 are 3-loss teams. The Rams, the Panthers, and the Jaguars, 6, 7, and 8. Atlanta and Detroit round up 9 and 10. And in case if you were wondering, Brandon,
Atlanta.
the Bills are number 18.
Yeah, Green Bay is way down like 27.
The Jets are 23.
Yeah.
And the Packers are 24.
Yeah, I figured they were low.
Yeah.
It's sadness in that field.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's why I said it's harder, I think, this year to be a Packers fan than a Browns fan, because they had it all together. Their defense was playing pretty good. They had all their wide receivers healthy.
They were a Super Bowl pick.
They were healthy at wide receiver, and Rodgers was being Rodgers. He looked better than he's looked in a long time, and one late hit. That's all it took.
Yep.
Guy pulls up, he's still playing.
Yep.
Guy falls on him, broken collarbone.
The NFC playoff standings before Thanksgiving. The Eagles would have the top spot. Minnesota would have the second spot. Both would have a bye. New Orleans, if I could talk here, LA, Carolina, and Atlanta 3 through 6. And the AFC playoff standings before Thanksgiving. Pittsburgh would be number 1 right now. New England number 2. Jacksonville number 3. Kansas City 4. Tennessee 5. And Baltimore 6. And just in case if you were curious about 7, 8, and 9, Brandon, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's the way it's probably going to be.
Most
I don't think for 1 minute New England's worried about home field advantage.
I don't think they
are. I think they're finding their stride. Their defense is starting to play now.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady's still doing Tom Brady shit.
Yep.
Funny side note here.
Okay.
Packer note. Aaron Jones. I don't know if you heard about this. The third string running back who really kind of stepped it up after Williams got hurt and Montgomery were hurt.
Yeah.
Had a real good few games.
Yep.
He got arrested for a traffic stop going too fast.
Okay.
And the officer noticed his eyes were a little bloodshot.
Oh, no.
And he said, I had a little weed after breakfast. He was honest about it.
Wonderful.
He said he was sorry.
Wonderful.
To his family and his teammates, his coaches, and fans of the Packers. I made a mistake. Take full responsibility for it. And it won't happen again. I can speak on it because it's an ongoing... I can't speak on it because it's an ongoing legal matter. But it's kind of funny.
He had his Wheaties.
Yeah. He just told him, I had some pot after breakfast. He didn't lie to the officer.
No,
he didn't make him, give me a drug test or fight it in court. He just kind of said,
yeah, whatever.
Smoke some pot, man. Sorry.
It'll be legal in 5 years anyways.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be. All right, with that, we will go to a commercial break. You are listening to the Football Talk Weekly Podcast on the GERE Radio Network.
Hey GERE Network listeners, we all know how busy it gets around this time of year. Taking care of your holiday shopping can get stressful. Using Amazon is a quick and easy way to get your holiday shopping done. You can go to GearNetwork.com/Amazon and click on the link to check out all the latest lightning deals that Amazon has to offer, as well as some of my top picks on gifts for everyone on your list. Anything you purchase from Amazon using the GearNetwork.com/Amazon link helps directly support our show, as well as the others offered on GERE Network, keeping us free and independent. Make it easy on yourself this holiday season and get the best deals at GearNetwork.com/Amazon.
IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting Facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life.
Yeah, buddy.
Puke. Puke. No, they're not.
Oh, all right. We're back on the Football
Sit
Talk
down.
Weekly Podcast, and we are sponsored by our affiliation with Target. Right now, go to facebook.com/Gear Network, click on the Target ad on there, and sign up for a red card, and you can get 5% off of your purchase every single day with the red card, with delivery, free delivery in most cases, and also you can have it shipped to the store. It's really cool, but do it through us. Facebook.com/Gear Network. Click on the Target ad today. Okay, we are coming back to the Bills Make You Want to Shout. Brandon, Bills Mafia.
Oh,
Bills
here's
Mafia,
here's some of the stuff that's going on in the Mafia.
Go ahead.
If they start Nathan Pick-Sixman this week, I'm going to put the coach through a table, Mafia style. Boom. Sean McDermott, if I own the team, would be former coach Sean McDermott.
Ooh.
Says PTI's Mike Wilbon. They agree. I'm thinking about running Nathan Peterman wings at work tonight. You order the wings and we deliver them to the wrong table.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
There was one more that was really bad, but
okay.
I can't find it all of a sudden. It's gone.
Oh. Maybe they realized how bad it was and they deleted it. Probably not.
Oh, here's one. If McDermott does decide to start Peter Pick, I've already got a name for him.
Jeez, already?
Yeah.
The kid's had one game.
Just know that he would be facing a Kansas City defense who has struggled to get to the quarterback this year. Well, so that's actually a half glass, half full. Fire McDermott, hire Frank Reich. Sorry.
Frank Reich. Hire Frank Reich.
Hire Frank Reich.
The guy that turned down an interview.
Yep.
He turned down an interview for this position.
Here's a funny meme. AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Nathan Peterman, 6 of 14, 66 yards, 5 interceptions. QB rating is an emoji of a laughing. Why did McDermott start Peterman against the team with the most sacks in the NFL? Joey Bosa, they didn't even watch us. McDermott screwed Tyrod, Peterman, the rest of the team, and the fans. If McDermott doesn't trust his own process, why should we? And then there was another one that asked if you still trust the process. Here's one of the Buddha Beavis next to Sean McDermott. So they're no longer.
Oh, what a difference 3 weeks makes, Brandon.
Yeah, man. They were
unbelievable.
I mean, they were ready to erect a statue to this guy.
They were getting ready to sell playoff tickets on the streets there and punch their tickets to Minnesota. That's where the Super Bowl is, right?
Yes,
Minnesota. So punch their tickets to the bird killing dome, and yet here we are, some 3 weeks later, after blowout losses to the Jets. The who else?
Oh, the Saints.
The Saints.
I saw that
at the
atrocity.
one you were at, and then this past week to the Chargers. Yeah, the Bills. Yeah. They don't make you want to shout. Oh, but you know what? The
Chiefs didn't look great against the 1-8 Giants last week, so
yeah, that's true.
They probably won't throw 5 picks.
Well,
they're like 2 or 3.
The Giants are 2-8 now.
Yeah, they're 2-8 now.
But
after losing to the 49ers the week before.
You know what I get to play now that I haven't been able to play in a while?
You lost a bunch of games, Seattle Seahawks.
They lost.
They suck big fuck.
They lost.
They're going to lose a lot of games.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Jimmy Graham helped me, though. Thank you for dropping him a few weeks ago, Brandon, so I could pick him up and slap you across the face with him. Or add insult to injury.
Insult to injury. you had 83 freaking points going into Sunday without even starting the freaking thing, so I knew it was over, and I conceded right away, and then you're like, oh, we'll just get 213 just to, make it feel better.
I gave them a pep talk at halftime.
Yeah.
It was like, you do it, damn it. Do it for the Mick.
Listen, he's only projected to get 122. That's 40 away with 8 players left to go. I don't know if I can average 5 per guy. But man, they found a way.
So going to the Gear Network Pick'em as we do every week. 2 weeks ago when we had the bye, Brandon did not participate that week. Forgot to hit save. So in an effort to bring it back, I did not participate last week. Brandon made his picks. He had 8 right. That balances the total back. I have a 4-game lead on Brandon and the Gear Network Pick'em this year. So I'm the champion every week. And this week, we only disagree on one game, and it is, it's going to come as a surprise to those of you that know how much I love my beloved New York Jets. But I am picking the Carolina Panthers over the Jets this week, just off the basis of the fact that I think that they have the better football team. But much like 3 weeks ago with the Buffalo Bills versus New York Jets game, and I said that this game could be a trap game with the Bills and the Jets, this could very well be a trap game for the Panthers as well, with a very gritty and tough Jets team that has played they played their hearts out just about every game.
Yeah, and the Panthers have had some good weeks, but then they also had some weeks where they don't look so great either. So It depends on what Cam shows up.
Yeah, exactly. If the Jets defense that really held Tyrod Taylor down, if they do the same, if they can do the same thing to Cam Newton,
well, I mean, let's not compare those two.
Well, right, one's a former NFL MVP and the other one's Tyrod Taylor, but
their color, their skin is where we draw the end of the similarities. Well, and they play quarterback.
Their playing styles are similar. Cam Newton is just smarter and better.
No, Cam's way better.
Right.
Cam takes shots down the field.
He does.
Tyron doesn't.
Right. He takes shots out, but when you're looking at it, it's mobile quarterback.
Newton's a better runner too. Just stop.
He's
quit while you're behind. Not the same.
Brandon.
Sorry. I'm just here to shit on you, that's all.
That's all right.
It's my job.
Right. So we disagree, on the Panthers and the Jets. For the first time, I think, in Gear Network Pick'em history, Brandon has picked against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I did, because I watched Brett Hundley just suck it up against the Ravens last week, and I'm like, well, if we look this bad against the Ravens at home, how are we going to do in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
It's demoralizing, because the defense played well last week. Again,
tell me why
3 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
Tell me why Colin Kaepernick is still sitting.
Because Mike McCarthy had 3 years invested in Brett Hundley and 2 in Joe Callahan. He's not going to do it. That's how angry he was when he was asked about it.
He was very angry.
Yeah, he was very angry.
Sounded like Mike from the old bowling league when he would get mad. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
but
it's. It is what it is. Yeah. You can't underestimate his ability to stand during the anthem. I mean, that really gives the team a lift.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's a joke.
I mean, I didn't really have a whole lot as far as football news for the second half, but I did make my return to the wrestling ring this past Friday with IWF. There's no commercial, obviously, for IWF yet because I haven't done another one for the January show, but it was pretty cool. For the past 2 months, I have been training and preparing and getting ready for it. And I will tell you this, Brandon. I gave my early adulthood to professional wrestling. You were there for a good chunk of that as well.
Yeah.
So you knew what I would do every other weekend or every month or whatever, and go traveling and do these things and I can tell you right now, as an older guy, in the professional wrestling business, being 36, 37 years old is considered old. Not so much in the game of life, but in that hemisphere, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So the training leading up to it was a little more brutal, I think, than it was 10 years ago when I would just, go to the gym or whatever. But now it's like, eating differently and trying to balance that around kids and school and work and life. So it was kind of a tumultuous 2 months to prepare for the show. But needless to say, the promotion that, happened with that was off the chain, and the show was really built around my return with this program with Eric Emanon and
no name.
Yeah. And so the idea was I would steal Eric's belt and he would have to give me a title shot. He did. I came back and Eric beat me and gave the title back.
Fair and square.
He did beat me fair and square.
Yep.
And And at the end, it was...
I'm going to use a Seminoism.
What's that?
He didn't win the title because he just didn't want it.
He didn't want it.
John just didn't want it today.
When did I say that?
You always used to say that about the Jets when they were like losing a game. They're like, they don't want this game. They just don't want it. It's like, no, they suck.
Fair enough.
No, they just didn't want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's an old school throwback.
That is an old school throwback.
Yes, for those who will listen on Thanksgiving Day.
Kind of went with you. Oh, but you know what? The walkout song that I came out to.
What?
John Jones, the one he always uses when.
Oh yeah, the Champ is here. I love that song.
I use that because I've been hashtagging.
I still love that they play it in UFC 2 as well.
Yeah,
I use John Jones in that game sometimes. It's a great entrance.
I used that, and it was funny because I had hashtagged the real champ and this, that, and even though I stole the title and all that crap, I was supposed to be the bad guy, and I come out there and that music hits, and I come out wearing the belt. 60% of them are cheering for me. Yeah, which is funny.
Did you do the Jones strut out there too?
No,
it's so awesome when he does it.
No, I didn't do that. They didn't have steps leading to the ring, so I couldn't do like the lion.
Yeah,
the lion pounce or whatever that he used to do. So, but no, I kind of came to the ring, handed the ref the belt, and was like, ring the bell, and just kind of went on an onslaught. And I mean, literally, Eric maybe got like I think 3 or 4 offensive moves on me, and 3 of those were his finishing moves. So. We created our own WrestleMania-like moment.
You Petermaned yourself out.
Pretty much. Eric
got tired from whipping his ass.
For those longtime wrestling fans that follow me in this podcast and listen, they know that Eric Emanon has publicly sourced me as an inspiration. He used to watch me on TV back 2001, and he kept saying, I saw him, he was a smaller guy, and that made me want to, and it was local, and I got to meet him and all that stuff, so it was pretty cool. It was kind of a passing of the torch kind of thing, so it was pretty sweet, and
cool.
Of course, now the question is,
will you do it again?
January 26th.
Will you do it again?
Will we do it again?
Will you?
I'm about 90% sure I probably will.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I'm about 90% sure I'll participate in the Rumble.
Nice.
That they have there. So we'll see.
Don't go in. Who was it? That one that like ran down the aisle and got immediately thrown out. Like he ran into the ring.
Bushwhacker
Luke. It was a surprise like entrance, and he ran in and like Stone Cold just like threw him right over the top as he came in.
Oh, I can't remember.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember who it was. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember who it was.
Was it Mari Jannetty?
No, it wasn't Mari Jannetty.
Who the hell was it? It was some scrubber who was like. He had a cult following, like the 80s, 90s, I think. And he came running into the Rumble, and he was all excited, and he went in. As soon as he ran into the ring...
Was it Gilbert?
No. I think he embarrassed Gilbert a little bit before he threw him out. I can't remember, man. That bothers me now.
I'll have to go on the WWE.
I remember that shit. He just like... He ran down. Everyone's like, whoa, holy shit, he can't believe he's here to wrestle. And then he's gone.
I mean, I remember once the Honky Tonk Man came out. He was the surprise entrance, and he got in, and he started doing his singing and dancing like he used to do, and Kane grabbed his guitar and smashed it over his head and threw him over the top rope, and he was gone in like 20 seconds, but I don't remember. But anyways, it was fun, and I will probably be doing it again, and maybe even possibly spreading my wings and heading out to Massachusetts. There might be an opportunity for me out there too, but we'll see how that goes. So. Anyways, wrestling talk done. Brandon, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Not really a lot going on. We just got Thanksgiving.
Thanksgivings.
Hanging out with my little dude on Saturday. Gonna go to Dave & Buster's. My daughter's going to a musical, so it's Dad and Sean Day.
Right.
So we're gonna hang out, do some dinner, go to Dave & Buster's. That's really it, man. I mean, Notre Dame's season is,
done.
I mean, they're going to get a nice bowl game.
They'll get a bowl game.
They'll get a nice bowl game, but it's not going to be a title game. Yeah. They're not going to be in the playoffs. They got Stanford this weekend. It'll be a good game. Mm-hmm. Packers suck, and they're on at 8:30 on Sunday night, so I'll be able to flip over Walking Dead after the first 30 minutes, and the game's already over. So, yeah, it's pretty much That's pretty much it. How about you?
Very good, very good. Well, aside from Thanksgiving, this will be the last week of my Java class. So hopefully I will find out very soon if I have already passed it. But it'll be the last week. Once this week is done, I will officially be certified as an advanced software developer.
Nice.
And then I will be down to 2 classes left. So the end is near. Thankfully.
The end is nigh.
Thankfully. So, but aside from that, having a couple of Pepsis and avoiding certain people at family functions.
Yeah. I mean, that's what family functions are for.
Right. Avoiding certain people. Just another chill week. That's about it. So, well, all right. With that, I'm going to mercifully end this and go home and get some goddamn rest, because although the Alka-Seltzer is starting to do its thing, which is pretty nice.
It's kind of late, yeah.
But I'm ready to just say good night now. Without saying that. But all right, so thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to this sick voice here, and I promise you I'll be better next week. But thanks again for using our sponsors, Amazon, Target, and Draft.com/Gear Network. Of course, the promo code gets you a free play. Brandon, sir, let's do this again next week, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
All right.
On our normal time.
Our normal time, yes. We'll do it at our normal time. But, all right, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you as well, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you as well.
And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Enjoy it responsibly.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the GERE Network.